Well, welcome to the first of 12 weeks of Fitness Challenge Nutrition Groups. I'm Dr. David Weed, and this is Ms. Amanda Raposo and her son Jack, who started these classes long before he was even out with us. So he's been through what?
He's been learning in the
He's been
womb.
learning, right. So by the time he's 10, he'll know more than everybody here. So how many people have never been to one of these classes? That's an idea. Good, about half of you. And I assume the rest of you have been to at least one in the past. I got a lot of people who say things were fine while I was going to your class and then things didn't go so well. And I'm coming back though, so I'm always glad to see people come back. And if you like what you see today and hear today, tell other people. There's no limit, there's no cost. We're here to educate people. I'm the Executive Director of Greater Fall River Partners for a Healthier Community. And one of the primary goals of that group is to reduce obesity and diabetes in this community, okay? And after you hear what we have to say today, you'll probably get a better idea of why we're doing this course and why we've been publishing a lot of articles in the paper. How many have seen an article in the Herald News this past week? Okay, if you missed it, there's copies of them there, and you can still get a copy every Thursday. Once a month they do the Living Well section, so this last Thursday, if you can still find a Herald News, okay, or if you have yours and you didn't read it, it's there, and we have a nice two-page spread. That's a picture of my lunch. Yeah, picture of Amanda and myself. And in the article, it gives some of the basics of why we do this course and what this is all about. I need to start with the fact that I am not a physician, even though I'm Dr. Weed and I have a degree in clinical psychology. Okay, but I need to be clear with everybody, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not here to give you medical advice. That's for your doctor. Okay? Even if I were a doctor, I'd tell you, go see your doctor. Okay? What I am here to do is to tell you some things about nutrition that Amanda and I and a lot of other people have learned over the past few years, and we want to pass that information on to you so you can make better or different decisions about what you're eating, okay, and understand a little bit more about how food affects us all, okay? Anybody who may be diabetic and on medication should pay particular attention to this, okay, because if you start reducing the carbohydrates in your diet, as we're going to be recommending, you may find that you don't need the amount of medication that you're taking, particularly insulin. So before you change your diet, you need to talk with your doctor or your dietitian and say, I'm planning to cut carbs in my diet. What should I do about my medicine? And they will give you advice that you should follow. Okay? Everybody clear about that? So, why do people want to lose weight? Why do people need to lose weight? What's that all about? Why do we have 140 people in the gym on this day? What's so good about losing weight? I thought, you know, I mean, there was a time in history when the idea of losing weight was horrible. People thought that was the last thing you'd want to do. You're going to die. You're going to starve. You know, you want to keep as much weight on as you can, right? Now, we have not only a country, but a world that's awash in carbohydrates that are stimulating weight gain. And that's been going on for a long time. Weight gain, of course, leads to that whole list, and I'm not going to go over that. But notice that on that list, okay, about losing weight, okay, it says nothing about what you need to do to lose weight. How many people have ever been on a diet before, of any kind? Okay, and Is there anybody here who's never been on a diet? Okay. I think that surveys are, what, 60 to 70% of Americans are on a diet all the time. Okay, I mean, it's enormous. And if you don't have a problem with weight, then maybe you haven't tried to diet. But since about 3/4 of America is overweight, okay, that's the major reason people feel the need to lose weight. Not necessarily for all these medical reasons, but since, I hate to say it, but it's always the case, the preponderance of people in this room, my guess, are female, right? And the preponderance of people in the gym are female. And you think they're all in there for medical reasons? Not on your life. Okay. I've asked plenty of them. It's about appearance, right? We want to fit in our clothes, but we also want to feel better, okay? Those are the two big reasons that people think about losing weight, not about improving all these medical conditions. We know that exercise does a whole lot of good for you, right? A lot of good reasons to exercise. And don't get us wrong, neither of us are here to say you shouldn't exercise, okay? That's an absolutely vital part of this whole process, all right? And exercise will help with all those things on the list. But notice that weight loss is not one of them, okay? If you came to the health fair last week, I handed out a sheet. It says all that. It says, weight, if you're here to lose weight by sweating it off, forget about it. Yes, you'll probably lose a few pounds, one thing or another, but all the research shows that when people use only exercise, not only do they not sustain a weight loss, okay, but on some occasions, what happens? People put weight on. Anybody ever hear the expression, I'm going outside for a walk to work up an appetite? Okay, remember that? You might have to do that on Thanksgiving or something. You really want to work up an appetite, right? So you go for a walk, which makes good sense. Why? When you exercise, you create a calorie deficit. You get hungrier, okay? Your body wants more calories. It's quite simple. So the hour, raise your hand if you were in the gym any part of this morning. Okay, raise your hand also if you were walking any part of this morning. Good, okay. So you've all of you with your hands up have created a calorie deficit. So you're likely to want to have a little more food today, which stands to reason. And if you simply eat the way you've been eating, chances are pretty good that you'll keep doing whatever you were doing before, gaining weight, not losing weight, etc. Doesn't change, right?
To summarize, you can't outrun a bad diet, right?
Doesn't matter what you do, it's going to come back to bite you. So what does work for weight loss? I don't want you to think that exercise doesn't help you maintain, and it may. Okay, a lot of people feel better and are more motivated when they're exercising. You may do better if you first work on losing weight and then exercise more. Why? When you lose 10 or 20 pounds, how do you feel? Good, a whole lot better, more energetic, okay? And you may find that it's easier to exercise, to work out once you've lost some weight.
Always the course.
Always.
Always needs to go to the course.
Just as, does he know how to unplug things yet?
No. But everything goes in the mouth.
There you go, we don't want that. So what does work? How many people have tried a low-fat diet? I have. Okay. How many people have heard others recommend a low-fat diet? I hear that all the time, all right? In fact, that's kind of the standard these days for weight loss, is to cut fat out of your diet, right? And you've got other suggestions about eating many small meals and always eating breakfast and frequently weighing yourself and things of that sort, okay? Well, that's the list of things that don't work very well, all right? 20 out of 20 studies, actually it's up to I think about 36 studies now that have compared low-fat diets to low-carb diets. Low-carb wins every time, okay? You undoubtedly, if you've been following the research, find a few contradictory studies. What you have to do is learn more about what they mean by low carb. And a lot of diets that are so-called low carb aren't very low carb at all. And then they say, well, people don't lose weight. You got to do your research, okay? So, in terms of what works and what we've been told, dietary fat, keep it as low as possible. If you eat fat, what will happen to you?
You get fat.
Pardon me? Well, if you eat fat, the idea you've been told is what's going to happen.
You're going to get fat.
You're going to get fat because fat has twice the calories per amount, actually a little bit more than carbohydrates. Okay, so it stands to reason that if you want to cut calories, you should cut fat. Okay? At the same time, eating more fat will increase your risk of what? So we've been told. Heart disease, heart attacks, stroke even, okay? All those bad things. And I've had people in this class who, when I tell them to eat more fat, they get very nervous, okay? I go, wait a minute, for the last 40 years I haven't been eating fat. I had a group just on Thursday over at the North End Senior Center, people who haven't had an egg in 20 years, fearing cholesterol. I said to them, even the USDA said there's no limit on cholesterol anymore. Eat as much eggs as you want. But the message is still pretty much ingrained with people that they're not to eat fat and to keep cholesterol low. So the only way to lose weight, we've been told, is to cut fat, but also to restrict calories. Okay? When you restrict calories, what happens? When you don't eat as much as you normally eat, what happens? Hungry, hungry, hungry. Okay?
Angry.
Angry, right. Just before a meal. Right.
Feed me now or someone's going to die. Yes.
You all experienced that? There's a new book out since we last did this class called Always Hungry. It's written by David Ludwig, who's a physician at Harvard Medical School, not some fly-by-night place, okay? He wrote this book after working with adolescents who were overweight and who were not doing well on a low-fat, calorie-restricted diet. He learned that by giving them more fat and taking out the carbohydrates, they lost weight, their fatty liver disease disappeared. If they had type 2 diabetes, that resolved, okay? They went back to a normal weight and health. And he said, well, if this works with adolescents, it'll work with anybody. And that's exactly why he wrote this book. He wrote it with his wife, who's a chef. She's got lots of good recipes in here and how to do this. If you want to pick this up, it's in the bookstore. I think it's still hardbound. We don't have a paperback edition yet. While I'm mentioning books, Mark Hyman, another physician from the Cleveland Clinic. Okay, if you know the Cleveland Clinic, if you're from the Midwest, you know the Cleveland Clinic. It's like Harvard in the Midwest, okay? And he's been advocating, and you'll see him on, he's been on the Oz Show and a bunch of places. But his book, Eat Fat, Get Thin, okay? Same concept, okay? By increasing your fat and decreasing your carbohydrates, you lose weight and resolve medical problems. Your cholesterol goes down, your blood sugar goes down if it's been elevated, and even your blood pressure can resolve with that, okay? How many people have seen an article about how eating fat is good for you? It's starting to change, right? If you pay attention, you'll see more and more. When Amanda and I started this class, what, 4 years ago, I think? Something like that, yeah.
At least.
There's hardly anything supporting this. And now you're going to see more and more. Why? Because the research is there. People who are in this business and paying attention are learning that the things we assumed over the past 40 years are not correct. So when you have a low-fat diet, you replace, if we take fat out of food, what do you put in it so it tastes good?
Sugar.
Sugar, okay? You've all had yogurt, I take it, okay? Do you have plain unsweetened yogurt? Yeah, there's the expression I'm looking for. Yeah, no, of course not. Plain unsweetened yogurt tastes terrible unless you get used to it. I remember when I was a student overseas in France, and they gave us little cups of yogurt, and they give us one little pack of sugar with it. Well, you take a spoonful of yogurt thinking it's going to be nice sweet pudding or something like that. I never had yogurt before. I couldn't stand it, so sour. So we would start at the beginning of the semester and dump the whole sugar pack on the top and eat maybe a spoonful. By the end of the semester, we were able to get through the whole little cup of yogurt with one pack of sugar. That's the American palate, okay? We expect, we like things that are sweetened, okay? And we have a great deal of difficulty when we go to eat something that doesn't have a lot of sugar in it. Getting sugar out is part of getting calories out. So if you put a lot of sugar in something, is it going to have a lot of calories? Yeah, right. So you have to eat less. You eat less, what happens? You get hungry. Okay. It's possible to lose weight with a low-fat diet. I have. Many people have. You starve yourself for a while. You can't stand it. And eventually, what do? You give up. You know. I like to say.
Ice cream sundae.
Pardon me?
You go back to the ice cream sundae.
There you go. Hunger always wins. If you're on a diet that makes you hungry, you will not stay on that diet. Amanda and I have been on a diet. I'm on my 8th year. How many years are you?
5, on
Okay.
and off. To be absolutely realistic.
Okay. But for 8 years, I have not gone hungry, except, you know, I mean, I get hungry after a while, okay, but it's a different kind of hunger. It's very interesting. And I've stayed with the diet because I don't have to worry about getting hungry, okay? I can manage my hunger, okay? And that's an important point in when we say how to lose weight without going hungry, okay? Because if you're losing weight and going hungry, you're not going to keep it up.
That's not sustainable. You want something that you can eat that way for the rest of your life and not a fad diet. I'll just say, any diet, no matter if it's a low-fat diet, Special K diet, Weight Watchers, you know, even the potato chip diet, whatever. When you go on any of these diets, what's happening, especially if you're doing a calorie-controlled diet, not only are you restricting fat, but you're also getting rid of the crap, right? So that is reducing your carbohydrates. That's the reason why you lose weight. So why not reduce the carbohydrates, but still maintain adequate calories and be able to burn off the fat and not be hungry? That's the purpose of it.
Once you get the concept, it's pretty straightforward. We'll explain a little bit about the biology of that, how that works.
But at the same time, you know, it's not a bad thing to have a conversation with them. And, you know, there's this movie called Fathead, and very good documentary, but very funny because the guy's a stand-up comedian. But he decided to go on a low-carb diet anyway, and he showed his doctor how things are good.
So wants to talk to. Every time she talks, she wants to talk.
Are you going to tell them that? Yeah. So sometimes it takes doing it yourself and showing them the results after. So get a blood test first, get a blood test after a few months, and you can see the results and the improvements.
No doctor will complain if you've lost weight, your cholesterol's improving, your blood pressure's improving, etc. Okay? And all you have to do is do this and teach your doctor. Okay? And as Amanda said, it's not their fault. When they went to school, they were told low-fat's the way to go. Okay?
I was too.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did. I had my lab work and it was crazy.
Yep.
I did this diet for at least probably about 3 months. And when I was scheduled for the lab work again, I repeated it. And actually when she walked into the room, she goes, "What the hell have you been doing?" My triglycerides had gone down like 130, points, and I had lost 35 pounds. And I'm a Southcoast point in, doctor.
Yeah.
And she was like, just continue to do what you're doing, obviously it's working,
That's right.
so.
That's what we hear all the time. Whatever you're doing, keep it up, because it's working. What we can't get them to say is, you know, this is what you should do. But they can't do that because it's not common practice, and they feel like it's going to get in trouble, you know. So a lot of things have to change. That's one of them. The low-carb movement is really a revolution from the bottom up. As people discover this, do this, get great results. Yep.
Define low carb. I eat 6 slices of bread a day. If I eat 2, is that a low carb?
Lower.
Lower.
So low carb is a spectrum, okay?
Yep.
So you can go nice and low carb like Dave does, down all the way to 20 grams of carbs a day. That would be 1 slice of bread and not much more.
Yep.
I don't even have that. Yeah.
Right. So you can go to that end of the spectrum. You're going to see results very, very quickly. And that is a big benefit. For some people, that isn't a realistic thing. If they're living with family, if they feel like that's not going to be sustainable, then I put a majority of my patients on a diet that is more around like 30 to 45 grams of carbs at a meal. And so that, you know, no more than 150 carbs for a day. So I would say anything 150, 100 grams of carbs for the day would be the maximum and still be considered a low-carb diet, compared to the USDA recommendation of 300 a day, which is just asinine.
Another way to think of it is lower your carbs. The one instrument you probably all have at home is a scale. Okay?
This is not low-carb.
Oh, no, that's my example of, we'll talk about that later. If you lower your carbs and you watch your weight go down, you know you're doing the right thing. If you plateau, okay, our suggestion, lower some carbs and add some fat. Add some fat. People have a hard time with that. I had a hard time with it. Add fat, okay, and see if it continues to move down. You're not going to disappear, okay? Nobody in a low-carb diet turns into skin and bones, okay? What happens is the important blood chemistry numbers improve, okay? And you lose some weight, okay? I'm not so concerned about somebody who's 10, 15 pounds overweight if their blood chemistry is doing well and they're avoiding sugar and refined grains. They're going to do much better in the long run, okay? People who starve themselves down to skin and bones kind of stuff are not doing well nutritionally, okay? And they're often not getting the nutrition they need. By the way, there are 3 major components of food, okay? Carbohydrates, we've talked a lot about, fats, and the third one is protein. Which of those 3 do you have to have or you'll die?
Protein.
Protein you have to have. What else?
Fat.
Fat. Carbohydrates, do you have to have carbohydrates? No. It's not an essential nutrient. Who lives without any carbohydrates at all? Pardon me? I'll give you a clue. There are people who live very far north of us.
Eskimos.
Eskimos, okay? Above the Arctic Circle, nothing grows. There aren't any vegetables up there, okay? They're not getting any carbohydrates. They're not digging potatoes out of the frozen tundra, believe me. But they're living exclusively on what?
Meat, protein,
Meat,
fat.
fish,
Fat.
seals, whales, whatever, and a lot of fat, okay? And the fats, you know, you say, well, how do they get their vitamins? What's the most nutrient, vitamin-rich organ in any meat? The liver, okay? You have some seal liver, you're fine. You get all the vitamins you need, okay? You do not need carbohydrates. It's not essential, okay? And don't anybody ever let you tell you that. And if somebody challenges you, say, go to any nutrition book. This is chapter 1. Okay.
One more question. Are all carbs equal?
No.
You take that one?
So good carbs, bad carbs?
Yeah, just like there's good oils and bad oils.
Yeah.
So, you know, quality definitely makes a difference, and that's why we specify sugar and refined grains are definitely the worst. But you can definitely whole grain yourself to diabetes if you have too much. You can definitely overdo it in fruit. I had one lady who was definitely a fruitaholic. I tried to get her to cut back and she's just like, I love my fruits. But that was raising her blood sugars and causing issues. So, you know, it's quality and it's quantity.
No, I'm maybe getting ahead of what you're going to cover.
Yeah, we'll be covering a lot of this. I have a
Thank you.
whole session on grains, a whole session on fats. We're going to go through all of this, but I want to respect your time here.
I do want to say one thing about, you were saying eat more fat. If you're hungry, you need more fat. If you are craving sweets, you need more fat. If you're not losing weight as fast as you want to be, you need more fat.
So what fat do you add?
So,
Name some things.
butter, nuts, avocados, olive oil, cream cheese, sour cream, coconut oil.
So, I mean, we're not going to
Eggs.
put a stick of butter and eat it. So
No, I know you're
what, like, name something that we can eat, so we
Well,
can
with
have.
all your vegetables, make them swim in butter,
Okay.
number one, okay? That's easy. If you don't like the taste of some fats, like coconut oil they pass around here, put a tablespoonful in your coffee, okay? That's the way of getting fat, yep.
hard-boiled eggs, make deviled eggs, right?
Yes, and margarine is not butter. Margarine is one of those bad fats that we're going to be talking about. So we'll have a session on diabetes. We're going to talk about calories in, calories out, and why that's a foolish notion. Okay? This is not about calorie balance. Okay? We're going to talk about some of the illnesses that come from this, and then what to do to prevent it. Okay? So there's a lot to cover, and let me just get to. That's my lunch, okay? It's in the newspaper. But just to give you an example, okay, I have half an avocado every day, a piece of cheese every day. That's a BLT, okay? There's bacon, lettuce, tomato, lots of full-fat mayonnaise, then a low-carb wrap, okay? If you need something to hold things with other than a piece of lettuce, go to the grocery store and get Joseph's, or there's several low-carb wraps. Joseph's is 8 carbs per tortilla wrap, whatever, and I cut it in half, so I'm getting 4. Okay, standard slice of bread is like 15 to 18. Okay, you have 2 slices of bread, you're already close to 40 grams of carbohydrates. That's twice as much as I eat in the whole day. Okay, so you get some idea. We'll talk. We're going to do recipes. We've got some guest chefs who are going to be coming in. There's a little kitchen back there. You're going to learn a lot. Okay, this is, like I say, it's a simple concept, and some people can just run with it or learn on your own, and that's fine. I'm not saying you have to be here to learn this, but if you want to know enough so you feel confident in doing this and getting the positive results that I have yet to meet a person who's gone on a real low-carb diet, not I cut back to 60 a meal, and hasn't gotten good results. So, yeah, right. Well, that's where people sometimes have problems with the definition. Let me just get, these are some of the foods, and here's some people who have been on low-carb diets, okay? You may know some of them, okay? Some more people, some real people. And here, I'll finish with the dietdoctor.com. It's probably the best website. It's free, although you can subscribe if you want to pay $9 a month to get access to some more stuff. But 90% of it is free, okay? And very good stuff. Dietdoctor.com, also authoritynutrition.com, and we'll get into some of your favorites, the every day
Oh,
what is it?
all day I dream about food.com and
Don't change it yet.
I breathe I'm hungry.com.
Is this slide deck anywhere on any of the links or anything? The slide deck you're sharing now,
Well,
does that show up anywhere on?
yes, if you go to gfrpartners.com.
If you find that you are having any headaches or any other side effects that you think are associated with low carb, definitely go to dietdoctor.com because he has a whole list of side effects, especially if you're going from drinking a bunch of soda, having a bunch of carbs. down to, you know, Dave's level, Atkins level, you know, there could be some side effects. They call it a low-carb flu. And dietdoctor.com has a whole bunch of information about how to treat those different side effects. Headaches, fatigue, constipation, etc. Yeah.
Typically, those symptoms last for a few days, maybe a week or two at most. Okay? And if you go to an Atkins style, you'll drop the carbs. Okay? And do that for 2 weeks. That's called induction. Okay? You will feel different. You don't feel bad. You just feel a little strange. What's happening is your body's shifting from consuming carbohydrates to consuming fat, and it has to do a little of this, okay? You won't feel bad, just, I don't know how else to describe it, you feel different. And a lot of people say after that, you know, they have more energy, you know, life is clear, life is beautiful, their acne clears up, their arthritis goes away. I don't mean to make this like this is a miracle cure, but a lot of positive things happen when people go off sugar and carbohydrates. But we've got a lot more to cover next week, so I hope to see you back here then.
Thank you, sir.
If it's your name, then I didn't have time to.